Tonight we're playing DreadLore. It's a new TTRPG that rewards immersive role playing. Tonight's game is Into Space.
Into space.
In DreadLore, players use their character traits to make stuff happen in the narrative as opposed to always constantly rolling the dice. We still roll the dice occasionally, but not as much as we use our traits. Tonight, the cast is me, Drizzle, Ken Howl's here, Maxx, Jazzi Cabbage, Andrea, Daniel Hulker will be with us in a little bit, and we have Bill Bunkum as our arbiter. We would like to thank the music, all lowercase letters, and Mr. Interrupt. Thanks to the Patreon people, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Hulker. If you would like to support us, go to patreon.com/DreadLore, and you can help make this happen every week. Thanks to Couchfire Media. They're the ones who do all the pretty stuff that you watch and make us go live all the time. And thanks to Replay Productions for whatever they do.
Whatever they do. No one knows who they were or what they were doing. The little people of Stonehenge.
Normally we go to Hulker for our sponsors, but since he's not here tonight, did anybody get any sponsors?
I thought Hulker was the only one that could do it.
I'm pretty sure that Hulker is legally the only one that can get us sponsors.
He's contractually.
I guess I'm a rebel then. Damn.
Yeah, working against
that tracks though. That tracks.
Yeah.
Pretty much so.
So we do have a sponsor, surely. We just have to figure out who it is once Hulker gets here.
Oh,
I could pitch a couple of ideas.
I would go for rheumatoid bronchitis or something like that.
Yeah,
rheumatoid bronchitis.
I don't think.
Thank you, rheumatoid bronchitis. Yeah, okay, so last we left a group of Nazi space marines. You guys aren't Nazis. You're not Nazis. But you definitely are space marines. Most of you are. Some of you have space marine rank, but you're not actually space marines. Katrina Tilmas. As well as Wilhelm Vesper, who is one of your NPCs. Let's do some introductions before we do the recap, actually. So, we'll go around the digital table, starting with Drizzle.
I am Skip Trace. He is a lifer military marine who had a higher rank but has been busted down for insubordination because he showed some people up and shouldn't have. Even though he did the right thing and saved a lot of people, he still got knocked down. So now he's a yes man. Except for when times come that he feels like he's pushed too far. Huh?
Isn't a yes man.
Yeah.
How about Ken?
I play a character, Dolby Newman, who is always right with every decision that he makes, every time. And there's no real ever wrongness. He is perpetually correct. That might be his greatest flaw. He carries a laser sword and he knows how to use it. He's SSA, Soul System Authority, through and through. True blue.
Go for Andrea.
Okay. So I play Katrina Tilmas, who is a former Martian, basically a princess. Grew up, in a very well-to-do family on the upper echelon of Martian society, and even, in many ways, of the Sol system in general, considering a lot of the ties to Mars and Prime. And she decided that life wasn't for her. She didn't want to be a pencil pusher or a mover and shaker. She wanted adventure and a life of her own. So she set out to become a mercenary. And that a series of possibly poor life choices led her to being stuck frozen in carbonite and then picked up by pirates who I guess betrayed her and all that good stuff, and now she just witnessed a massacre that makes her very upset. And she might be making another series of poor choices. We'll see.
Indeed. Jazzi Cabbage.
I am Cherokee Sue. Thanks to some magical dice, I am 6'10". I am a primer, and my parents have a secret, and I was trying to investigate it, and I got myself into some trouble. And instead of dealing with the consequences, I joined the Space Marines under an alias. And Dolby has kept me relatively safe for a long time. So we are bound at the hip, if you will. But I am just, your average door kicker medic that's just a little bit too big for space.
Maxx.
I play Corporal Silas. I'm from the moon. I'm a career soldier, and I have a lot of trauma, things that are pretty fuzzy, that happened like earlier in my career. But I know that from that I have a lot of OCD, a lot of.
And comms that went out.
Sorry about your ears.
Right, I think we're good now.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, I have some OCD problems because I have this obsession with keeping all of my men safe, but at the same time, it's usually pretty easy for me to, if they have died, it's just that has failed and focus on the next people.
And you guys have a whole bunch of NPCs with you. So I'm going to make you all introduce these NPCs, give a little bit of physical and personality description. We'll start with Drizzle.
We have Alice Brick. Is she a moon person?
Yeah, she's a moon child.
Okay. She was a part of an organization that was against the Sol system, but we kind of fought them, and she got reprogrammed and reassigned to us. So she wasn't necessarily the leader, and probably a little bit of brainwashing going on there. But she's been with us for a while. She feels indebted to Dolby because he's basically given her a second chance, even though he was one who fought against her in the first place, right?
He and the rest of the team, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody fought, or technically she fought against them.
Yeah.
Ken. Who's another NPC?
One of my favorite NPCs is Lieutenant Commander Dustone. She was a strong SSA soldier. She served the SSA very well for a very long time. Dolby carries her ashes with him. Actually, he doesn't, because he injected her into space. One of my other favorite one of my other favorite NPCs is Lieutenant Josh. What was Josh's last name?
Durgan.
Durgen. He was our pilot. He is also dead. And part maybe, probably not because of Dolby, but possibly.
Probably.
Dole Engineering is engineered at this point and in a coma, in part because of decisions that were made by Dolby, as well as the NPC Vesper William, who is unconscious
William.
Whoa.
because of decisions. I can keep
All
going.
right. We'll move over
But I
to Andrea.
For the purposes of this, does Archangel count as an NPC?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Archangel is a mysterious, interdimensional traveler, although I guess we don't really know that technically. But, we could probably infer that he's from somewhere very odd. Yeah, he levitates in the air, aiming to never move, even if things around him are falling apart. And he's very good with computers and, AI or RI knock things that that is maybe problematic for us in the long run. I guess we'll find
Friend murderer is what he is.
out.
Alfred was my homie.
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
playing.
Speaking of Alfred, who was Alfred, Jazzy?
Alfred was our ship's RI. Technically, we didn't know this at first, but he is actually an AI. But he's got like governors. Had governors and
Rest in
his
peace.
RIP homie. Had governors in his brain that kind of didn't let him know that he had that kind of capacity. And if you've ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, what was the melancholy robot's name?
Marvin,
Yeah, Marvin. Yeah. So like it's that kind of vibe, But he was my people.
All right. And Max, who's another NPC?
Girl, I don't know. This is like the worst part for me. I'm really bad at keeping up with the people.
I know. You guys have a ton of them. You've got Beatrice Cool Me left.
I know you guys are
Cool me.
besties. You and Coolney are besties. You took her heels.
Yeah, I still have those.
Is she still in her dress?
Yeah. It's all
Yeah,
ripped
she's
up.
barefoot.
She's barefoot.
I remember that, but I remember no other details. Isn't she part of the resistance?
No.
The resistance.
No, la resistance. She was
No.
not.
That's Scotland.
She essentially got kicked out of the PNB. They were like,
Gotcha.
you join us or you're just out. Because she wouldn't join up with them. When they imprisoned when they imprisoned Captain Grimm, Cool Me and 2 or 3 others were like, this is bullshit. He's the captain. This is literally a mutiny. And they were like, all right, well, check it out. You can shut up and be out of the PNB. We could kill you for being traitors, or you can come with the program or get with the program. And they were like, all right, well, we'll just be out and we'll shut up. Until their saviors, you all, arrived and reignited their soul system patriotism.
So good.
All right. There's a few other characters, but I'm talking about the characters that actually roll with you.
Yep.
We will, however, describe Captain, it's his full name, Gottfried Harold Grimm. Who wants to do that?
Harold Grimm is a 4'1". Is he 4'1"?
11.
11. Oh, a very short, but capable, like stacked. Apparently, he's muscles. He might be short. But he's as wide
He's
as
prison
he is
ripped,
short.
dude.
Yeah, he's ripped. This dude. He's
He
got some
sounds like a
face
Lego
tattoos.
person, honestly.
He has some face tattoos. He was the captain of the mission to unseat Alexander Bell, and they were successful. He might have committed some war crimes in the process and lost his command and went to prison.
He's like Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, I've met him. Danny, like, do not mess with Danny Trejo. Like, he is. Do not. Just don't. It's a dumb idea.
All right. And he's maybe a little bit unhinged. A little.
Just,
You know? He's been in jail for 5 years. Very tiny jail. He's a little unhinged. Been forced to listen to like smooth jazz and the yowling of cats for 5 years.
Yeah, that was
Gundam
that.
style for the last 3, and he just can't take it anymore.
And just random K-pop for the last of it.
He knows all the moves. He's incredibly capable.
Prepared for DDR.
Can you imagine somebody doing a K-pop dance just like dead eyes?
Yes. Yes, I can. They're wearing those huge pants with like the tassels and shit. Anyways. So, the last we left, you guys, you're all separated basically. As a group, you are separated, but you know each of you have a little pair. It's almost like it was intentional. We got Alice, Brick, and Archangel. They're together. They're sort of the NPC squad right now. You guys don't know where they are. Last you heard from them would have been a broadcast to the group that they're being pursued by the Defiant, which is a cruiser, a PNB cruiser that, you know, was shooting at them and eventually shot them down. Last all we heard was, I believe, Alice, Brick taking his orders, and they were doing evasive maneuvers away from the city, and that's all you know. You got Beatrice Coolme and Dolby are together. In the next room is Burgess. He's watching the he's watching the sleek ship you all found. Little starship. It is essentially a scooter. So before the stream started, I let you guys know what various ships were. This is essentially a scooter. It's larger than that, but it is essentially that. So it has a larger complement. A normal scooter has about a complement of around 3. This one has, I think it's 8 or 10. We wrote it down. Do you know what it is, Dolby?
You said it was a medium ship, I think, when we.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the layout of the ship is a scooter.
It was 6 or 8.
6 or 8,
maybe.
Well, I think there was enough for you all, so we'll say it's 8. A pretty simple ship. It is not a military vessel, is what I was getting at.
But it's sweet.
Sure,
it's a sweet
but it's sweet.
ride.
It's sleek. It's cool. It's fast. You've got Silas and Skip are together. They're in a building that has not toppled down. They're near the Cool Mints wreckage, and with them, a coma-ridden Wilhelm Vesper and coma-ridden Dole Engineering and an unconscious Wilhelm Vesper who is very injured. Katrina and Cherokee Sue are together in the bar.
We're actually in the tunnels. We got to the secret tunnel in the back.
Indeed, you get
So
a
we're
narrative
making our way
point for that.
downtown. What'd you say?
Go ahead and get a narrative point for that. Indeed, you were in the Greasy Axle and you found the Super Mario Brothers tunnel.
No, that's
Leads.
Fuck.
What a cool music change, though, right? Like in the first one, it was like, but then in like I think it was Super Mario World, they added drums.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
To be fair, like every
Wild
Nintendo
Hope.
game track goes way too hard.
Yeah.
A wild Hulker has arrived. We'll deal him in
Hello!
here in a second. Katrina and Cherokee, you guys are going down the very squeezy tunnels, hoping you're going in the right direction. You're going from the south, I want to say northwest. I think that's the direction.
Yeah,
Very
it's
easy
good.
for you. You're huge.
So the thing, if the guy, I can't remember his name, the guy said that it would take us
The
to
bartender?
the bartender.
That'd
He
be
said
William.
those tunnels. That's it's you. I forgot. That's so funny.
I love it.
So you told us that it was either the bunkers or like hangars, something to that effect.
So it's the northeast. I look like Tony Hinchcliffe. What the hell?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So as far as you know, you're going to the northeast. That's where the
Okay.
bunkers are. All right. And Hulker, we were doing some bits and pieces. You are in a room. Oh wait, you don't know what happened last game because you weren't here.
I gave him a very brief overview, but not much.
All right, well-
a brief last time on would be pretty sick too.
Yeah.
We'll do that here in a second.
A brief.
Yeah. So that's pretty much everybody. There is up top in the city, the southern part of the shield is busted, and this gnarly plasma storm is descending upon the city with hurricane force winds blowing all hell everywhere. It's this black charged storm that when a plasma arc hits, something that it shouldn't hit, it usually melts or explodes. Right. Everyone's gone inside. It seems as though the dome is holding across the city. There are a few things going on. So it's extremely windy. You also know that the eastern part of the dome has been fractured a little bit. The Defiant cruiser is searching for the cool mint. And when it downs the cool mint, it is then searching for your big robot, Johnny 25, which successfully hides by fate roll in a building by running into the building and the building falling all around it. So yeah, the Defiant is at the north part of the city. You can see it hovering around over there. Big spotlights going around. And these scooters shooting out from it, searching the city. The alien spaceship, whose name you don't know, the clad spaceship, it looks like an upside down mixing bowl, okay? With struts, has sat down in the sort of north central part of the city, and several of these robed acolyte looking space wizards are apparently helping some of the populace. It's hard to know. You guys haven't really investigated what they're doing, and you don't have eyes on them right now. So as far as you know, that's what they're doing. They might be getting back into their ship. Who knows? Who knows what they're doing? Right. That's pretty good for all of that. The storm is getting worse. You're getting hit by the feeder bands of it. So the actual intensity of it is ramping up moment to moment. It's nighttime. Dun-dun. When the wolves come out in the top of the desert. Oh, okay. So, nothing. Come on. Just made that up. Last we left you guys. Let's give a short version, we'll say. Correct me where I'm wrong. We're not going to add everything in here. This will be for Hulker's edification and all of ours. And the only person that's actually watched the last episode in full is Ken, so Ken gets a narrative point. All right. Last game. Dolby Newman, along with Beatrice Coolme and Burgess went back into the bunker where Confucius lay, fried and fricasseed. You guys find an inner dungeon, and there's a spaceship. It looks like it's a convenient replacement for your cool Met. It's nice. It's got cool trim. It's all decked out and such. Beyond that, you find the prison cell of one Captain Gottfried Harold Grimm. He turns out to be a nutcase. He's 4'11". He looks like the Fist of the North Star. Otherwise, like he's been doing lots of push-ups. He is intense, keen-minded, but utterly unhinged. Burgess, you have been ordered to watch the spaceship so that the Arbiter, me, cannot steal it from you guys. Elsewise, Cherokee Sue rolls into the Greasy Axle Bar, where Katrina Telmus has sought refuge because she's a murderous, treasonous. She, low-key tried to kill Dolby. People don't really know her intentions. She didn't go through with it, but it's dubious. And Dolby caught on. So he sent Cherokee after her. And Cherokee, this Goliath of a space marine, meets Katrina, this very roguish, wily character. And they have a very calm, uplifting conversation for 4 hours. Smoke a bowl, and they were fine. Apparently, Katrina didn't know if she's gonna have to fight. She willingly came along with Cherokee because they're all gonna talk it out. Everything's gonna be gravy, man. You guys can't go outside because there's a hellstorm out there, conveniently placed by me. So you have to take the Undercity. These tiny, tiny rat holes. Think Terminator 1, where the humans go. If you know what I'm talking about, get a pip. Meanwhile, Silas and Skip Trace play heroes as they find the cool Mint, your downed ship. They brave the storm. They get into the cool Mint. They save Wilhelm Vesper's life, although he is extremely wounded and out of his mind, as though he was connected consciously to the ship, and that's when everything went hell-wise. Who knows if he'll come out of it. He also saved Dole Engineering. He's in a coma. There's no trace of Alice Brick or Archangel. Whatever happened to them happened in a cutscene, so you all know. About an hour before, Archangel, an hour before, that's not true. Minutes before, Archangel sensed something. The reason he's in this universe, or this dimension, and is opening the airlock to peace out. Alice finds him. She gets sucked out the airlock. He saves her. And essentially, she convinces him that it would be in his best interests and everyone's best interests to finish what you all started. They are on their way somewhere in the city. Probably not to be seen this game. Coming towards the center of the city, the capital. So, I don't think I left anything out, did I? Perfect recap, right?
Yes.
You get a tip.
That's great.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Notice I'm not saying the F word. Apparently, if you say the F word, that's right, the F word specifically, within like 20 minutes of the beginning of your video, you get like shadow banned or something.
What? Freaking A.
I mean, it's not shadow banned, but like you won't get suggested. So I wonder why my chess channel or any of these videos doesn't get any traction. It could be because of me.
We can't
Talking
talk
about,
fish.
you know.
I
What'd you say?
did notice that you had to like agree to like watching explicit content before it'd let me join the Twitch.
Yeah. Well, the Twitch, I don't know if that matters, but what'd you say, Holker?
It doesn't.
You can't talk about fish.
I need to turn you up. Can
Yeah,
you hear
you're-
Holker very well?
Yeah, he's a little quiet.
Yeah, Holker,
Really?
turn up.
Yeah, you're low tonight.
How about now?
Nope.
Too
Turn
low.
more up. Higher.
Now?
Lower.
Turn
And
it up.
higher. Turn it up. Turn it up.
I say, Hulker, we need to hear the sponsor.
You're pretty low.
Yeah.
Do you have your headphones on the right way? Because that has been an issue in the past with.
Yeah, you flip
other-
around the other way.
It doesn't matter. My headphones don't have a mic.
Oh, maybe that's why we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What's that? Oh, that's your mic. Talk directly into your mic.
How about now?
Oh, that's great.
Whoa, there he is, NPR.
Turn your gain up.
Split the difference.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Is there a little dial on the microphone?
Oh.
Dial
how
it
about
up.
now?
It's better. How is he, Ken?
Do it one more time.
It's probably fun on the stream because I run all our streams through like ridiculously heavy compression.
Okay.
So
So everyone, you can right click on Hulker's face and turn up your personal volume on him if you wish.
Ah.
All right. All right,
just
all right,
like
all right.
this.
So I've been talking for forever and ever and ever. Let's have a little break. Hey, Hulker, who's our sponsor tonight?
Tonight's sponsor is Acid Reflux.
Good. That's it.
Yep.
Oh.
Keeps on coming back, huh?
Oh yeah.
Back for
You can
more.
rely on it. It'll be there when you don't need it or want it.
Did you know that it could be some pretty major? This is a little PSA for the night, but if you get acid reflux every day, you could have some underlying health problems, and you should probably go to your doctor to get a prescription for your acid reflux.
Thank
if you
you,
do
acid
acid-
reflux.
If you do acid every day, I don't know if that contributes to acid reflux at all.
I don't
but
think it
it'll
is.
mess
I
you
don't-
up.
I think that's different.
I mean, technically, LSD was supposed to be a stomach medication, and then they were like,
Yep.
oh, this does other things.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I mean, Viagra was supposed to be a heart medication.
It was a hard okay. Anyway.
We get a pip for that.
Hey-o. So, I feel great. How y'all feeling? You little space marines, you.
I see.
You just cute little space marines. Hey, we have a
Okay.
cool logo. We got a cool logo.
Sure.
Ken, did you show him the logo?
No, we still have the old one going on, but it's kind
No,
of
I'm
fun.
talking about the Space Marine logo, the SSA logo.
Oh, the SSA one. I still haven't. I haven't put that up, but I can throw that in.
Yeah, throw
Uh,
that onto the
gold.
Twitch.
You like the goldie?
The gold. I like the gold one.
The gold. Bold gold. Sold.
Yeah, we're
Gold.
getting new logos for the chat, so you all know. Thank you to the Patreon, and all that you've done. Though to be honest, it's really just Ken spending a lot of his own personal time to do it. Join that Patreon so we can pay him.
Hey, real talk.
Do it.
We are gonna play this game. Look at that sexy logo. Can you?
I'm
Can you see it?
working on it. I gotta. Bring
It's
it
cool. I think it's really neat.
in. I think it's.
So that's like
You-
emblazoned on your guys, on like one of your shoulder pads or whatever. Although, did you put your insignia back on?
Yeah, we did.
You did? Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, when we made good with asterisks.
Mm.
Ah.
All right, so we have Corporal Silas. We have Private First Class Burgess, Private First Class Skip Trace, Private Katrina Thomas, First Lieutenant Dolby Newman, and Private First Class Cherokee Sue. That's who is in the game at present. You guys are all PMC, Prime Marine Corps Marines. Now, what is missing? It's pretty obvious. You guys don't have a sergeant, which makes the next in command as in the person who's actually in command of your fire troop, or fire team, is really Silas right now, because Silas is the highest ranking NCO as a corporal. And then you have the actual commander would be Lieutenant Dolby Newman, right? So that's actually the chain of command. But you guys the entire time really haven't had that. You've been making do. Also to mess things up, really, it was Sergeant Skip Trace and Sergeant Cherokee Sue and I think Lance Corporal Burgess, all kinds of stuff. You guys been bumped down, all hell's broken loose. Chain of command is doing well. Isn't this interesting? Isn't it so interesting? I think it's interesting.
Hypocrisy.
What'd you say?
Sounds like rank hypocrisy.
Turn your gain down.
You went too high.
Jesus.
Rank hypocrisy. All right, the action is on Dolby, Cool Me, and technically Burgess.
All right.
You're sitting there. Harold is moving back and forth, watching you, sort of stalking back and forth like a jaguar behind these bars. He doesn't look like he's going to attack.
We
Jesus damned.
we gave him a bit of a. We knocked him out.
Oh, did you knock him out?
Yeah.
What'd you knock him out with?
Just some stuff that was lying around. Just not anything. We just gave him a little sleepy time.
Do you
Give
remember
me a
how we did
bonky
that?
bonk.
Night.
Little NyQuil.
Yeah.
We dosed him with future NyQuil.
Was it from a med kit?
It was from maybe a med kit. Maybe it was
Okay.
maybe it was some ketamine or something. Maybe
All right,
not.
well,
Oh, I thought we
should-
we named something in the room and hit him with it.
No, I don't think so.
it was just a sedative.
But yeah,
we
gave
should
him a
spend something for it. So it's either something Dolby has, Burgess has, or you could bid Cool Me
Yeah,
for it. That she
It's
would
probably
have.
something in the med kit too. Like I think they probably have med kits that put people down when they have been grievously injured as
Yeah.
a humanitarian. Like, okay, you might die, but here, let's get you out of the pain real fast.
And you're just sedating him. You're not like putting
Yes.
him down, right?
No, just sedating. Hopefully, in such a way that'll chill him out, and then we'll just revive him with another thing in the med kit.
So
Am I on the scene?
you are technically in the other room where the spaceship is. So Dolby, write down the med kit on your sheet, and it'll have 6 uses. Assuming you're just giving him a little downer, you use 1 use. If you want to put him out, a normal person, it would take 2 to like put him out cold.
No, I just wanted to chill him out. I didn't even necessarily want to like knock him down. I didn't want to make him sleep for a long time because we're kind of in a hurry. Just wanted to,
Well, if you sedate him, you sedate him.
sedate him
Yeah.
a bit.
You
Part of
sedate it, it's
sedation
done.
is you have to deal with the sedated part.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Well,
Well, I mean, I wanted to
You can
move
do
him
muscle
to a different
relaxers.
place.
Give him,
Yeah.
just be like,
Yeah, muscle. That's a good call. Maybe I just gave him just got him so he wasn't.
so
acting
you
like
make the call.
wild
Which
animal.
one do you give him?
So
We'll
do you want him
say
loosey goosey or do you want him asleep?
loosey goosey.
I mean, just because
Okay.
somebody's on muscle relaxers doesn't mean they're gonna cooperate.
Right. Right. All right. So
That's right.
mark 1 use off
Yeah.
of 6. Did you already do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a d6. We'll see if it's a 1. If it is a
Already-
1, then they're pretty effective.
It's a 4.
Okay. It's not, as you see the captain actually does relax a little bit. He stops his pacing a bit after maybe a couple minutes and seems a lot clearer minded. Clearer minded is not the right word for it. Less agitated.
Captain, I want to get you out of here. and I want to get you out of here now. We got Colmy. We got a couple other people.
Good.
We want to take back the city. Actually, I want to take down
back
this
the
glad
city.
shit. Yeah.
What's happened in my absence?
Confucius took over.
He does the Clint Eastwood face.
Yeah. And I believe he's been trading with the Clad. And
What? He looks over at Colmy. You let him do that?
well, she didn't let him. She was predisposed is what I'll say, but she's a good soldier and she's been with us ever since we came across her. We believe that they are in collusion with a thing called Ramada. Have you heard of them?
Ramadan. Know all about him.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about them. So do you think that you can rally the troops, buddy? Or do you need a minute?
My troops will come to my beck and call.
Well, we need a plan.
They yearn for my return.
Sure they do. Do you know
Dolby, what do you want to bid here to get how is this all going? What's Dolby's affect? Because right now I'm getting lots of Ken, which is cool, but it's kind of like, hey man, what's up? So
Dolby's
is that what
pretty
Dolby's doing?
subdued. Like he, for as much of a maniacal killer, he's like very
chill.
even kill.
Yeah. So what do you bid for it, and what's sort of the scene here?
I'm gonna bid leadership lies, because I believe the leadership lies, and I'm gonna show him my mission report. Like, this is the report. We said, it said unseat Confucius. It said that Moriarty was a traitor and Axel was a traitor. Is that true?
How are you showing him this?
I guess I have a little LED screen on my suit.
And is it just? I mean, what is it? Is it like a notepad thing? Is it?
Yeah,
I need
an
descriptions here.
iPad, like a iPhone. I've got this little phone that that's probably connected, just a little LED thing and it's got the SSA lettering on it, the gold with the insignia, and he outranks me, so I'm just showing the mission report to him.
Do you remember who gave you the mission?
I got this from Dusttone, Sergeant Dusttone. And we were sent here because Novus Terra went dark, and we haven't had any communication for the last 10 years.
You see the captain look at it. He kind of squints his eyes, against the brightness of the LED. Reads over it pretty quickly. His eyes, skirt over it. Huh. Never heard of Duststone. Who is this sergeant? Where is she?
She is...
He sort of grinds his teeth.
On Neptune Station in the Sol system.
As he kind of nods.
Do you know Ava Cyrus?
Someone roll me a D10. Tell me what you get.
I'll do it.
Do it. Do it.
Got a 7.
Ava Cyrus. Yeah. He's magistrate. Didn't like her.
Yeah, I don't like her either.
What
anyway,
about her?
We think she might be in a little bit of cahoots with these guys. So we got to be cautious. We got some moles on the inside. What do you know about Admiral Kibitz?
You see him kind of like shake his head as he processes things. Hold on a second. He's still holding on to these bars. Who is this sergeant? Why'd she give you orders, Lieutenant? You see him almost for the first time seeing your lapel and maybe taking you in, Dolby, as he looks you up and down.
Who is Dustone? Lieutenant. I believe it's Lieutenant Dustone, isn't it? Or is it Sergeant Dustone?
No, it's Sergeant.
It is Sergeant. All right. Yeah, Sergeant Dustone is my CO, who sent us
Sergeant
here on this mission.
Dustone is your CO?
Yeah.
A sergeant above a lieutenant? That doesn't make any sense.
No. I was up.
You seem
I
kind of
was
like
given a
look
field
at you.
upgrade to be sent on this mission to unseat Confucius. Unless you have a problem with Confucius, then I can kill you in this cell. If you like Confucius, you know, and you don't want to.
He arcs his
wanna...
eyebrow as you threaten him. Well, I don't like Confucius, Lieutenant, and I don't think you know what the chain of command is. You kill me, that's treason.
No, I'm not going to touch you. I'm trying to save you, is all I'm saying.
All right. Well, let me out of this cage.
Are there any orders? And I'll get Colmy. Is he good? And do you have orders?
Colmy looks over at you. Dolby, you can tell Colmy is conflicted about your all's engagement. She doesn't know what you're going to do. As you ask her the question, she nods. Yeah, I mean, it's Captain Grimm. Of course it's okay.
Look, Captain, you're the highest ranking officer on this planet, as far as I'm concerned. So I would like to facilitate your needs. If you want to make me your enemy, that's fine. But my goal is to retake the planet, and the guys of the SSA. I'm not sure why this is confusing for you. You've been in the cell for a long time, but you know the terrain, and we are new arrivals. Our plan was kind of foobar from the start, so I'm gonna have to default to you. You've had some time to think and plan a strategy to rally the troops.
You see him considering everything you're saying and being relaxed, Dolby. This guy has clearly a pretty strategic mind. He nods. Indeed, Lieutenant.
All right.
Get me out of here.
All right. Colmy, let him out.
Colmy will go around. There's a mechanical lock or a digital lock, and she's just dicking around with the pad, trying to crack it. This may take a second. I'm not incredibly good at this. As Captain Grimm folds his arms, releases the cage, and he's maybe looking at her a little bit, looking over at you. Lieutenant, I don't quite understand how a sergeant is in authority over a first lieutenant, an officer. Has something changed? I have been gone.
I was.
To be honest, I don't know how long I've been in here.
I was a private. I mean, in the past, I've been higher, but I was knocked down when they took me to be re-educated. So I was lower in rank and given a field promotion by Dustone.
Well, they normally don't. Okay, out of game, Ken. It wasn't Dustone. It was Calabash.
Oh, Calabash. Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, Dustone's the chick you cut her head off.
Yeah, Dustone. I don't know.
Yeah.
why.
So this entire time, I was like,
yeah, Calabash.
That's what I thought you said.
I
Leadership
would like to
lies.
spend a narrative point saying that I need to say Calabash.
That makes sense. When you said leadership lies, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, he's trying to lie about Dustone being dead.
No,
then...
Calabash is what I
Okay. Okay.
It's just there's a lot of names on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of names. as he sits there and as you change the narrative a little bit, Calabash. I see. So you got a field promotion. It's just
Yeah.
strange that this Lieutenant Calabash would have a mission of such importance. You know who gave us this mission?
No.
Hold on a second, I'll tell you.
I have no idea.
Colonel
Uh,
Donna Rowe.
Yeah, Donna.
You heard of
Rose.
her?
Yeah, war vet.
He nods.
Strategist.
This went all the way to the top, almost, of the SSA.
Yeah.
You hear
Well, it's
ba-bang.
It's above my set clearance, sir.
As Coolme is not able to get it right now. You see him thinking. There's obviously something on his mind. He's not letting it out though. All right.
Anytime now, Beatrice.
All right, Burgess. You're in the other room. The door is open. You can see what they're doing and kind of hear what they're saying. You're in this rotund room. There is a launch pad that is large enough for this medium-sized ship. It's just medium-sized. It almost looks like a personal transport. So what's called a scooter, which is normally like, think of a Star Trek space pod, not space pod. What are they called? Shuttle. Looks like a shuttle. It's a little bit longer, kind of a limousine styled, black, has gold trim. It's all decked out and stuff. Looks like a warlord's personal limo shuttle. Has some guns on it. And your orders, according to Dolby, were to secure this and make sure nobody takes it. Action will be on you, Burgess. Are you doing anything in particular? Are you going into the shuttle?
I'm going in.
Okay, the door is shut. Tell me all that you do. The shuttle's, it's not prepped for launch, so it's not like, you know, at an angle or anything.
And Cherokee gave you a narrative point too, Burgess.
The first thing I do, thank you by the way, I go up to the door and I see if there's any buttons I can press, and I'm just going to try and do them.
What do you bid?
I'm going to bid. I'm going to bid set clearance 4.
As you key in a few well-known passwords, first couple don't work. There's a little bit of time delay. You know, as you get the wrong password, it makes you wait a little bit longer and longer each time. And just to get you up to speed in the current timeline, finally, you put in the right password. What is it?
It is the password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, A.
Yeah. Shit, that's the same password that's on my luggage. As you put that in, the door slides open. Actually, it slides open like one of those like, is it a T-Bird or like a DeLorean, like shoop?
Yeah.
Little wing thing. As it does, a spritz of perfume, and you see this gold and marble inlay on the floor. Everything is nice and cushy in there. You see a little bar. There's a couple rooms and such for places, you know, to chill out and such. There's a couple cryo pods you see. Do other things. Yeah, it's like this luxury shuttle that 8-ish people could fit into.
All right. I'm going to go in and look around and see, first, are there any weapons in there?
So looking around, what do you bid to find weapons?
I I'm going to bid just out of basic training.
Where do you find the weapons?
I find the weapons behind a shelf, kind of tucked away, but it's in a compartment. So the trim looks very much like a standard issued military box that it just kind of looks familiar, right? And so I just figured, they probably stuck it in here because it's like that everywhere. So I open it and it's there.
In fact, you do. You find some small arms, basically anti-boarding personnel stuff. So a few, we'll say 2 pistols, hollow pistols, I should say. You will also find 2 thumper sticks. These are the non-lethal close proximity energy weapons.
Lieutenant Burgess, could you turn down your comms? I can hear you over here. Just turn it down a little bit.
How's that?
I'm getting some feedback. That's a little better. Give me a test. Mic test.
How about this?
That's pretty good. Maybe just one louder.
That's pretty good.
How about now?
Does it sound okay
about now?
to everybody? Just one louder. Is there one more?
louder.
Is there?
How about now?
Ooh,
Are we in the
It's-
sweet spot? Is that nice?
I think
I
right
think
there.
that's
Because
Alright.
so the hard part was like your game was really loud,
Yeah.
Burgess. So like you were echoing in my helmet. Anyway, I'm gonna mind my business now. Turn off my comms.
I'll give
Alright.
both of you pips. So, Burgess, as you're looking around, you see the cockpit. Of course, it can be flown by 1 person or 2. There's this. Think of the jumbo jet. The main fuselage will be the hangout area, and then off to the sides there's 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 cryo, 2 cryo, 2 cryo, 2 cryo in their own little vestibules. In those vestibules, there's sort of little rooms. There's a table, stripper pole, little mini fridge, and then 2 cryopods. On the table of one of them, you see a bottle of half full tequila from Prime. Or should it be from Mars? What do you think? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is
Any
it
votes?
is it red?
Mars.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
Mars. Isn't
Martian
Mars like
tequila.
a fallen kingdom, so to speak?
Yeah. It'll have a pink
It may-
hue to it. So it won't
Makes
be
it a
like
little
any
bit more
tequila we
richer.
have.
Yeehaw.
That Martian tequila. And next to it is an RPG.
Because Burgess needs more weapons.
and
Of mass
Soupy
destruction.
Jones gave a narrative points to Dolby and a pip to Silas.
Ooh,
Thank you, Supe.
thank you.
As you see,
No
it
soup
does
for
in
you.
fact it's an RPG launcher that has an RPG in it.
I radio back to Dolby. Lieutenant, I think we got some assistance available here in this here ship if we need it.
That's good. Keep an eye on it. Make sure nobody takes it.
Yes, sir.
Wait, it might be our only way back home. The cool mint is cold and not minty anymore.
That is regrettable, sir.
Very, very much so.
Seems like it was a lot of fun being on this shuttle. Probably a lot more fun than the Cool Mint.
Nothing's more fun than the Cool Mint, soldier. That was a damn fine chip. Damn fine chip.
Lieutenant, you hear Cool Me say, I can't get this damn thing.
All right.
There might be a key somewhere around here. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I'll search around for a key. Can I bid something?
Yeah.
Can I bid? Ears burning? Or was that a joke?
Okay.
And so basically, you know, sometimes when I get close to something of important, my ears get hot. I got a Nord sense, except for it's Dolby.
Why are your ears so red? I can see them through your visor.
Yeah, sometimes you just get a feeling. You just feel it.
So where is this key card?
I think the key card is there's a guard table. I'll spend a narrative point that there's maybe a guard table.
You don't need to. You already bid.
And you know, I bet in that drawer over there, in that guard table, is probably where they keep the key.
God,
I'm gonna check that
she
out.
slaps her head, walks over. She pulls this drawer and sees. Oh, hey, Skip, roll me a d4.
Yeah, Confucius isn't the brightest roller. It's a 2.
See 2 key cards. Swing.
Yeah, well, try them.
One opens it up. Finally, as
Captain,
you see
I would
the
like
captain
to
sort of
I'll
side straddle out.
I'll salute him with the SSA
He does the same
salute.
to you. So does Colmy. As you guys stand there for the appropriate amount of time, which is 5 full seconds. Doing this. Well done, Lieutenant. I'll take it from here.
Thank you, sir.
Moving to Cherokee, Sue, and Katrina. You guys are in a hole. In this tunnel. It's pretty small. We'll say, you know, small for an average person. Maybe 6 feet tall.
Oh, yikes.
Oh no.
Most people have to lean, sort of hunch forward a little bit. There's a string of lights, few and far between, so it's quite dark in here. This has been dug out fairly rudimentarily, reinforced so it doesn't auto collapse or anything. And there's little stations where there's like a little oxygen tank, like a personal oxygen tank, and a mini med kit here and there. What is this used for? You have no idea. There's little runner lights that go down, but they all seem out right now. Since you're in the southeastern part of the city, it's almost like the power went out and blew a fuse.
Right.
Katrina, tell
Fine, it'll come back it'll come back eventually. Probably.
Who's in front?
Katrina was. I was like
Katrina's-
respectfully pushing her along, so to speak.
Katrina, you're in front. If you look over your shoulder, you see no light. Just Jazzi. Just a Cherokee Sioux, who's kind of hunched over. Cherokee, how are you getting through this tunnel? Because you're huge.
So, I don't know if any of y'all have ever done bear claws. Or bear crawls, I mean.
That
I've
sounds
eaten a
like
bear
like a more intense white claw.
Bear crawl is what I meant to say. But I'm just on my hands and feet, kind of being like, you know, just kind of 1 foot at a time. Boop, 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 boop.
Cherokee looked like the alien in a spacesuit coming down the way. Yeah, and what are you bidding for this?
Hmm.
Hum, hum, hum. Ramada! If it's not
Dancing.
Rama built, it ain't
I don't know
built.
what's that.
Okay. then
You know
do
what?
something else.
5 Ramada.
You know what? I am gonna bid smuggler and say that I am used to tight tunnels raising for getting goods from place to place.
I'm used to that tight tunnel. As Cherokee. Tight tunnels his way, his way behind you. Katrina, what are you doing? He's on all fours.
I mean, Katrina's walking along just fine.
Yeah.
She's only like 5'6", so it's good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
She might have
so
to
the
duck
action,
a little bit, underneath the supports, but that's about it.
the action is on you two. As you're moving along, Cherokee, you're not impeded by this since you're moving the way you are, although you're not particularly fast like you normally are.
Right. I kind of figured this would be a chug along anyway. Katrina, I know this is awkward or whatever, but thanks for helping out. I mean, you very much could have just bailed on us.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean-
bail on you in?
I don't know, like at the bar, you had your opportunity to back out, and your intentions really seemed like you were going to leave. So, I don't know. It's kind of cool that you stuck around.
So you'll hear her like audibly sigh. Look, I don't have anything against you or anybody else so far, as such as it is, but that Dolby guy as your leader is a problem waiting to happen at best, if not just a straight up sociopath.
I mean, he's a mercenary, like they said,
No,
come here and
no,
kill Confucius, and so we did that with a little bit of flair, I guess.
In my experience, mercenaries know how to at least be smart. That was just killing for the sake of it. I don't know. There was so many better ways to handle that situation that could have been. This would have been all over so quickly, and you wouldn't have lost your ship. If
I
some
feel
conversation
like we may
had
have
been
lost
had.
our ship regardless, because this could have gone south at any moment. I mean, there's multiple tiers of complexity going on. We have La Resistance. We have the Clad. We had, Confucius. Delby very swiftly toppled a very complicated government in a matter of moments.
Here's a
I know it
question
wasn't
for
pretty,
you, though.
but it happened.
Despite all the rhetoric and, propaganda, have any of these parties just attacked us for the sake of it? I mean, even that ship in orbit didn't really attack us until we attacked them. I mean, I'm not saying that I haven't had my hand in that as well, but the Clad seemed more than willing to work with us, and as did La Resistance, and even Confucius after they found out who you guys were, or at the very least, the people under his command. I don't know. This is all just seeming like I'm starting to understand less and less why my grandfather did what he did. Because it's kind of seeming like you guys are the ones going around fucking shit up.
Hey, Cherokee. Make a sanity roll. As Katrina, whatever Cherokee thinks about Katrina, that's up to you, to Cherokee. But when you've been told your entire life that the sky is blue, she is calling the sky not blue right now. What do you mean the SSA isn't the best organization. What do you mean? That
Well,
that the
to
that
be
the
fair, I
PNC
mean,
is
I'm a
not.
primer and I'm on the run. I'm using the Prime Marine Corps as a means to be away from my problems.
Ooh, this is true.
So
That's true.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I feel like this entire time it's been a very gray conversation. We're not talking about black or white.
Oh, I
And
get it.
think
I
that
get it.
that's, Yeah, like me and
I get
Katrina,
it.
and I think that's why it was the best situation for me and Katrina to line up with this, because we're both kind of the gray area in this situation. And
Now listen,
what for sanity roll, I do need to ask you. It's mind and
it's mind and your
an
action.
die.
And I'm
Okay.
telling you, the reason that he's rolling is because he, despite Cherokee having what is the word? Dueling things going on in his mind, right? Like, he can absolutely be a rebel against authority, you know, and on the run. At the same time, you don't go through all that training and re-education and everything without being affected by it.
Mm.
So this is some Born Identity shit, right? This is some Winter Soldier shit.
Oh yeah.
And there's a
There's
point
some
where that
some
programming.
subterfuge in this tunnel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Subterfuge. So
Subterranean.
we'll say that the
subterfuge.
sanity roll is because of the conflict within Cherokee's mind. I'm gonna go so far as to say what Katrina just said would be like on a commercial for like
Mhm.
the rebels and what they say before they boil your babies alive. It's that level of kill these people. Like the rebels, the clad, they eat your children. That's what they do.
So
They
I
bathe
think
in the
that-
blood of the innocent.
It's a visceral response.
Okay, so
And
first
the
of all,
idea-
I rolled a dinner for 2, so we got a 6 and a 9.
Oh shit. All right, so how many successes is that?
So that's 1 on the mind die and 2 on the action, so 3.
Yep. 3 successes. At 3 successes, we're going to say the threshold is 2. So you get a clean success. You don't get any flaws from this. No derangements. But there is this thing. It's up to you how Cherokee deals with it and what it specifically is. I like how Silas just said it, though. It is a visceral response. Maybe some acid reflux.
Thank you to our sponsor. Subscribe today. Become a soldier, citizen, something.
There is something you remember having the headphones on and hearing the bombs and the explosions and the screams and stuff, and then the huge screen, the clockwork orange, showing you different images. What she's saying is treason. Like, as in by the propaganda. She just said the SSA was bad. That's treason.
Yeah,
So-
and to be fair, I've been trying to convince her that we're not the worst option this entire time.
I know, but arbiter wise right now, I don't care. What
Sure.
I'm saying is, this is the visceral response. Ugh. Now, Cherokee has complete control, but you get to roleplay with that. And the action is on you.
Okay, Katrina. I think that we are forgetting that this is a job, right, that we signed up for. And when you agree to the mission, sometimes you don't really get to choose how things play out. You just react to the situations as they happen. And I understand where you're coming from, but the clad and all of our other competitors, if you will, like, there is no clear good answer anywhere. And I'm sure that the dismantling this traitorous dictator in a little bit more of a too literal of a sense was probably not the most democratic way to handle the situation, but we did it quickly.
there's a difference between democratic and straight up negligent. I mean, how many of those people in that room were responsible for any of the problems? I mean, and again, the problems, quote unquote,
Have you ever heard of an active
are they really
bystander?
even active bystander? How should I put this? My issue, even beyond the question of right and wrong and a lot of these questions, like the whole reason such as I understand it, because I wasn't the one given the mission, I just kind of am tagging along, so to speak. Such as I understand it,
Frozen.
the mission is because
Wait.
what? The mission is because Prime, wasn't satisfied with the amount of material being sent back to them. So what? They're coming to have you murder somebody because they're not getting enough, commercial product. That's kind of, even beyond anything else, that's kind of messed up, before
Sure,
that.
the
But
underlying thing is that the machine needs fed. We understand that. But the overlying issue is that there was a dictator in control of people that were our people that were stranded out in deep space. I think that this is getting very easily glossed over. Like, we dismantled a dictator that was over our people.
there's definitely, I don't know. I don't know that I don't know that you're
It's okay
entirely
to not
wrong.
know,
but
and I feel you. I'm in that same spot. Like, I don't know the
But
answer.
you weren't-
But
also, you weren't down there. You didn't see what Dolby did, and just how quickly a very peaceful situation got turned into pure chaos for no reason.
Sounds like him.
It kind of comes with the territory. I'm just going to say that. I mean, we are our own gods. Our bosses are 10 light years away. We're told to handle a situation, but not told how to handle it. I'm just saying, like, in this circumstance, on the fly, could you have handled the situation better? I don't think I could have. And that's why I tend to defend Dolby, because sometimes it's complicated. Like, it's not simple as, like that. That's what I was saying. It's like, there's an underlying and overlying issue here. Yeah, sure. The machine needs the coal and everything else, but like, our people were being oppressed by a dictator, and that needed managed. And somehow or another, we managed to handle both problems in a matter of moments. It was a messy management, but I don't know. Like, especially, like, I've seen so much shit kicking boots around with the Marines. Like, I honestly, that would not surprise me that it was messy, and it was scary to see that kind of thing happen for the first time. And I'm sorry that you had to experience that without understanding what you were walking into, the potential. Because, like, you agreed to a contract without fully understanding that it could go sideways at any moment, and there is no backup. It literally is just us.
And what about the aftermath? Solving a quote-unquote problem, which, we can get into a whole long debate as to the core of the problem, but what the city is in turmoil, immediately following that, and who knows what the military structure is going to be at the end of this. Yeah, you cut the head off a snake, but it's not just a snake, it's a hydra. You have all these moving parts that are, we don't even really know what's happening. At the very least, Confucius was a known quantity. We knew what the power structure was. But now, I mean, is there a mutiny happening above our heads as we speak? Are half a dozen factions gonna fight it out and use this city as their battleground? We don't actually know. All we know is that, half an hour ago, well, no, probably more like an hour ago at this point. You know, everything was relatively peaceful, and now this whole city is a war zone.
That could have happened at any moment. Any moment. It was literally volatile. There was a resistance involved. There's the clad who only look out for themselves. Like
That sounds like propaganda.
we
to
can
me.
argue this. It's not propaganda. You literally witnessed it yourself. We spoke to the resistance.
What
You
were
were
they doing?
there.
We didn't see any of that happening, and we didn't even hear of any of that
There are
happening.
so many dangerous entities involved, all circulating around the resources here. Like, it's not our responsibility to.
Since we've gotten here and the people we've talked to, all of the major conflicts seem to revolve around the PNC and their subsidiaries trying to take control of the resources. The Clad don't seem to be causing fights, even though the propaganda would tell you that they are. And even La Resistance didn't seem to be really starting fights. They were, they're against Confucius, but I didn't see any, prisoners or, people starving in the caves we were in.
We didn't see any of that just now. I mean, like, what?
I'm going to give really quick, since I really do like this conversation, although it's gotten to the point of going back and forth, which is good. It's fun. Katrina, regardless of the goals you have, I will give you a bid or a throwdown to remember what you did in fact see in La Resistance's caves. And Cherokee, if you want any information specific to what you're talking about, you can have it as well with a bid or a throwdown, as in to convince or prove your points.
So in that case, go ahead, Katrina.
You go ahead. I gotta think of what I gotta bid.
I'm just trying to remember what the trait is actually called. I think it's called the Real Truth. It's like one of my elite things, like, because I was a rich primer, like I know more than the average bear.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna bid for the situation.
Did you bid that? Go on.
For my bid, I'll bid my fate as just like a trait.
Yeah.
The Emperor.
The Emperor. All right, so we'll start with Katrina first. And Jazzi, be thinking about if you want some sort of information you don't know or you don't remember, what to specifically ask for. For Katrina, specifically talking about La Resistance's caves, they were not starving. You remember that pretty clearly. However, they were extremely angry at Confucius. There seemed to be something that they never actually said what it was, what had happened 5 years ago, but there was a big battle, which when you guys went through the desert, there was all this wreckage that Silas spotted, and it was a colonial, as in this colony, it was a colonial civil war. And essentially what the La Resistance was mad about was at some point there was a nuke set off in the second settlement, which is where most of them were from. Now, some of them blamed it on the PNB and Captain Grimm. In fact, a lot of people said Grimm shot that nuke. But the timeline was never actually said. Was Grimm in line with Confucius at the time? And then he was betrayed? Or was it someone else that shot it? Or was it Confucius that shot it to garner more leverage against his own people? That is never known. And while Katrina was sitting there pretty much stirring up shit with La Resistance, you would have heard all of those things. So it is not at all clear who the bad guy was. What you do know is those were refugees from the second settlement, most of them. They weren't going hungry, likely because of the clad. They were anti-Confucius people, and they didn't like the SSA either. So just to remember, that is actually what Katrina heard and saw. And technically, no one else saw that because she was alone there. Now, they may have heard it and seen it in other ways, but in that moment, that would have been what she would have gained. Use that as you wish. Jazzi, what about Cherokee? Anything he wants to remember or just kind of know that he would have known for his argument here?
So, ultimately, what I'm trying to argue is that the colony has the infrastructure to govern themselves, and it's not our responsibility to handhold them, because that's what they were ultimately going to do with the resistance anyway. And we made a bad situation neutral. So,
so not to convince Katrina, but is there some information he wants to either realize that maybe she's right, or to give him an edge in the argument, or just extra information?
So probably a little bit more about the occupation here, and like kind of those things that I was referring to is like, it's not all like it all goes out in the wash ultimately. So I want to know about how Confucius was occupying SSA people, so to speak, like our people.
So for this, we're going to give, this is a bit dangerous. I'm going to open it up to your player group to kind of remember what actually happened. Granted, this is over the course of like 6 sessions, so there's a lot of info. I'm going to let you guys, you cannot argue, but if you want to remind us and Jazzi of what had happened. Maybe your character found out something that no one else did. Maybe you encountered something, and then we'll just say from this bid that Cherokee Sue was told about it or knows it's true. Okay? So we'll open it up. Who wants to say? Go.
Bestie.
What exactly are we reminding him of?
Jazzi.
So, how Confucius was oppressing the settlers here, like that were technically our people. Because I'm trying to make the argument ultimately that we clean the whole thing went out, in the wash because it was all a bad situation, and we just picked an option and did it. So, yeah, like how is Confucius treating the people?
So if you got something, speak up.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you seen the city? You know where the decadence is. Like all the money is going to the capital. He's got statues. If you go to the city parts, it's kind of a slum. So there's definitely a separation of wealthy and then everybody else. There's also, you would know that there's a clad civil war going on this planet. So Gostrom is clad, and also, Confucius is clad sympathetic at the very least. They nuked their own city. We like what Bill said. That is a fact. We don't know who did it, but somebody did it. It could have been SSA. It could have been Grimm. It could have been Confucius. It could have been anybody. That is an unknown that we're trying to get. But that Telmar is playing both sides as well.
Didn't Lieutenant Dolby call Confucius a communist?
Yeah, well, no, that's in the junket.
Hilarious.
That's in the mission report. Confucius was a communist. I mean, they'll just write whatever they want. That could have just been propaganda. But yeah, probably a communist. He was not the supplies were not going back to the SSA, and so he was handled one way or the other. Confucius's last line as he was dying was honor the deals they made with friends. So he yelled that before he opened fire on our team. We did not strike first.
Oh shit!
Anyone else have anything?
Wasn't
to add?
Katrina there for that?
Yeah.
Trixie, you got anything? Go for it.
Our middle child is stressing because people are firing off fireworks for some reason.
There's more, but
Anyone else? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Jazzy, you remember a couple things. Maybe Silas told you. Perhaps Skip told you. It's up to you guys how this was handled. The mining facility, which is off to the west, where the ocean is, or the sea is connected by rail to the western part of the city, to a factory, which Skip Trace actually went to.
Yep.
And Skip saw a few things there. Did you tell anyone about that stuff? As in, this is Jazzy's.
I think I did.
So, did you tell anyone or not?
I think I did. Because
What did you see?
was
Wasn't Silas with you?
Mm-hmm.
it was basically the head of, or it was a part of what we think is the La Resistance out there as well. That they were, because the person the boy that I followed from the bar went in there and went to talk to someone who looked like they were in charge but was not a miner. So it looked like it was kind of an undercover base for La Resistance as well, is what Skip assumed. So,
But one of the strange things was it was pretty obvious
Mm-hmm.
that La Resistance was there.
yeah.
It was a big question on your guys' minds. How is it that the bartender would openly say this stuff and
Yeah.
nothing happened? So here's essentially the deal. La Resistance is tolerated because they have nowhere to go. They can't do anything. I mean, they could blow up their only city,
Right.
but like then everybody dies. Also,
you would
who are
know
the
that
miners?
Gostrom was a pacifist as well, because you were in the room for that.
yeah, also, who were the miners, Skip?
I don't know. I don't think we.
No, it was never explicitly said. Just
Yeah,
something
no.
to think about. Anyway, last bit of information you'll know, so you can decide what you want from that information. As far as you know, Cherokee, apparently there was a tactical nuke button in Confucius's office, which, as you think about it, one is strange. Two, who shot the nuke on the second city? The story is someone shot the nuke, that the SSA, specifically Captain Grimm, shot a nuke to quell the colony and say, hey, look, we mean business. Shoot first, ask questions later. Just to throw a little bit of a wrench in the plans here. Is that what actually happened? You don't know.
Because I saw that button, is what you're saying.
Well, you didn't see the button. You were told about it. And
I was
Katrina
told
tried to
about
press
it.
it with her drone. Although I don't know if you technically know that.
No,
At any rate,
he wouldn't know that.
there is definitely confusion, and I'm gonna say one last thing. For against whoever's argument here, Cherokee knows that Dolby is rash. What happened in that room, Cherokee was not there for. So it's going off of hearsay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he really hasn't heard anyone's story but Katrina's. So there's an argument to be made that she is rather objective in that. But I will say part A and B. One, Katrina did not sign up for this mission. You guys rescued her from pirates. Two, so she's along for the ride, right? Two, it's pretty obvious that she has ulterior motives. Like, Cherokee would have to be, I'm not trying to talk bad about Katrina here, but he would have to be really frackin' dense. Get that catch? Really frackin' dense or oblivious to not realize she's been working for her own goals the whole time. Back at Confucius's cave, literally the whole thing was about Telmar shipping. And when you guys got to Novus Terra, Dolby opened up a communique to the colony, which Katrina gave the communication. And her communication was, hey, look, I'm a representative of Telmar shipping. You can work with me, and through me, work with the SSA, and we can all be good. Like, that is not a hidden secret. That's redundant. Right. It is not at all a secret of what she is. It's also not a secret that she literally just contacted Telmar shipping because she told you, and that they're on their way to come and collect her.
Well, that, and it also contacted everyone within the fucking space between where we are and where they are.
So the issue here is, whatever Cherokee wants to think, he can, but he does know the facts that he's seen. Now, for Katrina, I'll say this. Dolby is obviously unhinged in certain ways, but you were there in the room. Confucius, I can tell you as the Arbiter, was insane. He was insane. He had a big red button that had nuke on it. It said nuke. That's how you guys knew. It says nuke on his desk. He's nuts. Axel was an SSA guy, and he was not insane, but he even said he was ready to shoot you guys dead if you didn't say the right thing. And all hell broke out. These things are true. Last bit. Dolby is the only reason you're alive. Okay.
Okay, so I guess it comes back to me, right? Was I the last one that was talking? I don't remember.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to dump a lot of those clarifying facts that we just went over.
You guys come to a T section. You have to choose left or right.
All right, Katrina, left is always my cardinal direction. So which way do you want to go? Because I don't know where the fuck we are. But my instinct always says left.
That is true.
I don't know. Hold on. Actually, Katrina will pull up a map of the city in her HUD. And, you know, like, she probably can't get pure good single under here, but she can at least sort of get a general idea of what direction they've been going in from, you know,
signal
from the bar.
What?
I don't know, just like, ooh, would it be too much?
You guys don't have satellites.
But we don't. But like, how should I put this? Would it be too big of a thing to like say that she has it set up like any planet she's on, she like her systems hook up to like GPS satellites on the planet? Or no?
That is too big of a task. Yes.
Okay.
But she could attempt to do it.
She probably wouldn't, you know, waste her time. She probably just would go, like, considering the other time constraints. Generally, she'd probably just pull up the map of the city and where they, you know, versus where they were to where they're trying to go.
And what are you bidding for this?
For this, I'll just bid. Oh. Ooh, that's good. No, that doesn't work. Her demeanor cocky. I don't know.
Okay.
And I'll just let you tell me so I'm not just like totally making shit up. Just based on what she can tell from the map, would left or right sort of take them in the general direction of where they're trying to go?
So, you guys have made it to the T.
How did you get it?
Going right, because it pretty much went straight up, as in straight north. Going right would head east, which would be towards the statue. You want to go northeast if you want to get to the hangars.
Yeah.
Left would take you toward the factory.
Which is probably where we don't want
Get
to
us
go. At least
approximal,
not-
right?
It's up to you. You haven't been to the factory yet.
Hold on, I'm gonna throw out a real quick table talk. I thought that the factories were near the hangars, so that's why we were trying to go through the tunnels to get us close without the storms. Did I misremember that?
No, the factory is to the west. The hangar, the air hangar, which is near where the clad ship is to the northeast.
So, okay, cool. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure. It's like,
So left seems to take us towards the factory area,
With the
and
mining
right
and all that
cut-
stuff would be.
and right seems to go toward the direction where we want to go.
okay, right it is.
So she turns right, I guess.
As you turn right and ostensibly go east, you hear behind you down the hallway the sound of people talking. It's distant. It's echoing so much that it's unintelligible. It's very distant. To the right, you don't hear any of that. There is the smell of smoke in the air. You don't
Down the
see
right
the
tunnel?
smoke, but you can smell it.
Is there a chance that this tunnel got collapsed when the ship came through the barrier? I'm talking to Katrina. Like, we're speculating at this point, I would think.
I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. We don't know anything about down these tunnels, so.
I mean, I'm totally down to hit the fuck it button and see what gets us where, but you know, I smell smoke, and generally that means fire, and my guess would be that something got crushed, you know, or something, you know, like the rubble is what I'm imagining. I could be wrong, but that's just what smoke is giving me. It's giving trouble.
I mean, you can make whatever choice you want. I mean, essentially, let's be honest, I'm your prisoner at the moment, so.
You are not my prisoner. But look, I wouldn't be having this conversation back and forth with you if I considered you a prisoner. And I asked you if you wanted to join us. I got consent from you before we left. I didn't push you anywhere. That was the whole point of me sitting down and talking.
No.
You know, that was the whole point of us sitting down and talking, right?
And
but
Dolby
I think-
told you to
I
bring
think-
me back no matter what, so I think we both know what you would have been told to do if I had said no.
And
Yeah, but I
on
get to
that
make
point,
decision.
we switch. Silas and Skip Trace. Meanwhile, you guys are holed up into the lobby of this old residential building. It's 3-4 stories tall. You hear the creaking of the storm outside against all sorts of detritus, and any trees are whipping against the building. You can feel the building creaking back and forth against the wind, the top part of it. Dust blows up here and there outside, and you have your two downed comrades. What are you guys doing?
Quick question: Are we gonna take a break anytime soon, or should I just go into the
Yes.
bathroom?
We're gonna take a break in right after their
Okay.
announcements, but you could go use the bathroom. Yeah.
Okay.
Skip's probably checking on, just kind of still making sure that engineering is okay, and looking out the window to see what are there windows. I'd assume.
If you're inside and you're where there are windows, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, they have glass.
Yeah, so he's looking out to see if what the storm looks like.
It's bad. Dark
yeah.
roiling. You can actually just see there's the destruction from where the ship was and the downed, collapsed buildings, and then buildings around, and you can see just black and the plasma shooting off in the distance. Storm is imminently hitting, so it's a mile or two away.
I'm gonna, as I'm looking around the room, I'm gonna look at Skip and I say, there's no point. Outside isn't an option. I wouldn't bother.
And on that point, let's take a break. And we're going to continue with
Hey!
you guys.
Ooh.
Drizzle.
Will just really had to go pee as well. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
He was like,
That's
"Bee!"
Thank you guys for listening to the first half of tonight's game of Into Space.
Space.
Into space.
We have our cast tonight: myself, Drizzle, Ken, Maxx, Jazzi Cabbage, Daniel, Andrea, and Bill Bunkum as the Arbiter. We'd like to thank the music you've been listening to. That's provided by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. Thanks to our Patreons, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Hulker. If you would like to become one, go to patreon.com/DreadLore. Help us keep this show on the road. We'd like to thank Couchfire Media. They're the ones who make everything you see look pretty and actually that you just see us. Thanks to Terrible Productions for whatever they do.
Whatever they do.
And thanks to our sponsor again, Acid Reflex.
We'll be back.
We'll be